All right, today we are doing writing equations in vertex form from standard form. So we've learned vertex form already, so we're going to take it in standard form. We're going to need this, this, and this one. Okay, standard form looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form we know is a, and then in parentheses x minus h squared plus k. And then we're also going to need this equation to find the axis of symmetry, which is negative b, or sorry, x equals negative b divided by 2a. So we'll scroll down. These are our steps. They're important. Make sure you follow these steps and you always get the answer, just like every time we have steps. So step one, start with the quadratic equation in standard form. It'll already be written like that. Use the axis of symmetry formula to solve for x. We're going to solve for x. Then we plug it back into the standard form equation, because think about it, they're all x. It's x squared plus bx minus c, stuff like that. So if we solve for x, we can solve the entire standard form equation to solve for y. Step four, the x and the y you solve for is the vertex. Okay, so once we solve for x, we're going to plug it back in to get what y equals. Those two numbers make the vertex. The a value is the same in standard form and vertex form. So whatever is written where a is, it's the same in vertex form. Then we plug the vertex and the a into the vertex form formula. All right. Looks like a lot of steps, looks tricky, but it's really not. All right, just follow along with me for number one. So we have y equals x squared minus 6x minus 7. So I just like to label them A, B, and C. All right, and we know we need to use this formula first. X equals negative b over 2a. This is how we're going to get the axis of symmetry, which is what x is. So negative b, so that's going to be negative 6. Don't forget to put the sign in there. There's two negatives. All right, divided by 2a, which a, there's no number, so we know that's 1. This becomes 6 divided by 2, which is 3. All right, so we know x equals 3. Now, we take that and we plug it back into this equation everywhere where x is. So we plug it back into the equation to then solve for y. So that becomes 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 7. So again, let's rewrite this. That's 9 minus 18 minus 7. Okay. Or 9 minus 18, which is a negative 9, minus 7 more is a negative 16. All right, and if you're not sure about that, just use a calculator real quick. Just make sure you keep the signs. So now we know our vertex is 3 comma negative 16. All right. Now we can take this and easily write it in vertex form. We know how to do this from the other day. So f of x equals, we know a stays the same. All right, and there was no number in front of it, so we're good. And there was no negative sign, so we're good. We immediately start our parentheses. So parentheses x minus h, which h comma k. So we do the opposite. So since it's a positive 3 minus 3, all of that squared, and then minus 16. And we're done. All right. Hopefully you followed along with me. You see how we went from standard form to vertex form. Okay, and we'll do another one together. We're going to do number 2 together, and then you're on your own. All right, so just remember, I'm going to say the steps out while you are writing them. Finish writing. Finish up number 1. So we started with x squared minus 6x minus 7. We first used the axis of symmetry equation to solve for x. It's x equals negative b over 2a. So you keep the negative b and then add the negative 6. If you notice, it's two negatives. Negative times a negative becomes a positive. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then we took what x equaled, which was 3. We plugged it back into x where both were. 3 squared equals 9, minus 6 times 3 is minus 18, then minus 7. 9 minus 18 is negative 9. Negative 9 minus 7. Alright, I had to pause for the Pledge of Allegiance, but I think I left off on explaining from this negative 16. So negative 9 minus 7 equals negative 16. So then we found our x, or our h, and then we found our k, or our y, which is 3 comma negative 16. Then we just plug it in. F of x equals, there's no negative or a number in front of it. So we go to our parentheses, x minus, because we flipped the sign, do the opposite. All right, x minus 3 squared, and then minus 16. So let's move down, and we're going to do number 2 together. All right, so we have x equals negative b over 2a, and then we see our negative b, negative 12, because this is b, a, c, sorry, that's a bad a divided by 2, and then a is negative 3. So this becomes a positive 12 divided by negative 6, and that equals negative 2. So then we plug the negative 2 back into the equation for both x's. Negative 3 times negative 2. All right. Minus 12 times negative 2. Sorry. And then all that plus 45. All right. Squared, sorry. And then we have 2 squared, negative 2 squared, which is 4. We do that first. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 24, because negative 12 times 2 is a positive, or negative 12 times negative 2 is a positive 24. And then all that plus 45, you put that in your calculator, you get 57. So then we know it is negative 2 comma 57. That is our h comma k. Running out of room. But then now we're going to start writing in vertex form. Now, before I begin, I want to scroll up. I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to see. Or actually, I won't have you scroll up. I'll have you just scroll up, and I'll read it to you because I have it here. Step number 5 says the a value is the same in standard form and vertex form. So this time, see this 3 right here? We have an a value. All right, and that a value is negative 3. So we know there's a negative 3 on the outside. All right, in number 1, back in number 1, there was no value. So we immediately went right into the parentheses. But this time there's an a value, and that a value is negative 3. So on the outside, we put negative 3. X, we see, what is h? H is negative 2, so we do the opposite. X plus 2 squared, and then plus 57. And this is our final answer. We took the equation in standard form and we put it in vertex form. So this one is our answer to number 1. And the second one is down there. So it's just a couple, it's kind of long, but other than that, it's pretty easy. Just follow the steps. All right, complete your worksheet. Let me know if you have any questions. It shouldn't be too bad. Just make sure you follow these steps. Make sure you take good notes and rewatch the video if you need to.